What's up, guys, and welcome back. I'm back here at Gettel Kia of Bradenton, Florida with this 2023 Kia K5 GT-Line all-wheel drive. Now it's all wet because we just got dumped on. So if you have ever lived in Florida or visited, you know it rains here every day in the summer. We just don't know what time it can sneak up on you like it just did. But the good part about it was I got to test drive it in the rain, so we can see how this all-wheel drive drives in the rain at the end of this video. But before we do it, I'm going to take you on a complete tour of this vehicle. So we're going to check it out on the exterior, interior. We're going to see what's new for 2023. And before we do all that, guys, do me a quick favor and help me reach my goal of 10,000 subscribers by the end of this year by clicking that subscribe button at the bottom here somewhere. Well, let's get back to this vehicle. Check it out, guys. I love the way it looks. Now, before we dive into this particular one, let's talk K5. What is it? Now, it is a continuation of a wildly popular Kia Optima. The name Optima was dropped from Kia lineup back in 2021, rebadged to K5, and we still have it. Now, the Optima was actually introduced back in the year 2000. So 22 years ago, one of the most successful sedans in the Kia's lineup. So beautiful looking car. I think they worked really hard to make it look sporty at the same time, not overly aggressive. It's like it's not trying to look too sporty, if you know what I'm saying. Love the design of it. So let's start with the hood over here. Very long hood, brand new Kia logo on it, a few very subtle body lines on this vehicle, nothing too crazy. I love the headlight unit. Now this incorporates this pretty cool amber looking daytime running lights slash turn signals. Looks like a thunderbolt, right? Pretty cool. Fully LED lights in the front, and this particular one right here also has some fog lights at the bottom. LED fog lights nicely incorporated in this trim piece right here. Now I like how they connected three colors. Actually, you might not see it from when the camera is standing, but this is kind of the gunpowder gray, this is piano black, and of course the glacial white is the color of the vehicle. Looks very nice, very aggressive. Lots of open space right here through the grille to help with the cooling of the engine. And since we're talking about the engine, let's pop the hood. Let's see what it is. Right underneath the hood, we have this 1.6 liter turbocharged engine. Now that produces 180 horsepower, 195 pound-feet of torque. So same thing as it was last year. What I want to point out too is how nice this hood struts look. Like no prop sticks or anything like this. A nice sound insulation on the hood itself. Now this engine is mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission, and in this case it delivers the power to all wheels if needed. This is an all-wheel drive model, not the fastest thing out there, but if power was your thing, you can opt in for a Kia K5 GT with 290 horsepower. That's a lot faster. I gotta give it to Kia. They can make the vehicles look fast while standing still, and that's an art too, right? You don't have the most powerful engine in here. And you know, the 0 to 60 is not super impressive. By the way, it's about 7.5 seconds with this all-wheel drive, so it's not super quick vehicle, but it looks pretty fast. So that sleek and sporty design continues on the side. There's certain characteristics for the GT line that you can see in here. First of all, that black mirror caps. Now the mirrors also have the turn signal indicator right here. They have the blind spot assist, and then the two-tone wheels. Now they're 18-inch aluminum wheels. They're painted black in some portions, and they're polished aluminum on the outside. So pretty cool design, right? They're also wrapped with the Pirelli P0 all-season tires. The size of the tires, 235/45, of course, over 18-inch rim. I overall like the design of how this vehicle has this indent at the bottom that helps with the aerodynamics, but also with the look of this vehicle. And check out the trim around the windows. On top, you have this satin chrome trim that goes all the way across, kind of gets larger to the back of this vehicle, and then wraps around the trunk of it, which is a super cool design. Another cool feature, you do have the smart entry system on this vehicle, so you don't have to press any buttons on the key. All you have to do is either touch this button over here. You can see we have the lights, the blinking mirrors, and then you can press it to unlock it without pressing any of the buttons on the key, as long as the key is somewhere on you. So if you like the front and the side, then you're definitely going to love the back side of this vehicle. First of all, let's start with the obvious, the tail lights, because they take up so much room. They're fully LED tail lights. They incorporate the lights, the turn signals, the reverse lights, and then look at this. It's lit up all across. The strip right here that connects it lit up. So if you're following one, you know what you're following as far as that. Now you do have the rear view camera over here, and you do have the trunk release right next to it. New Kia logo. Part of the GT package, he also has this black trunklet spoiler, which adds to the sportiness of this vehicle, and this unique design of the bumper. You can see this trim pieces that looks like the air exhaust, and then the exhaust tips right here, they incorporate in here. They're not real exhaust tips, they're just the trim pieces that look like one. You even have a diffuser right at the bottom of it that's in a different color, that's in this polished aluminum color, and these almost look like the real exhaust tip, even though they're not. Now you have a GT line written right over here, and I told you about this trim piece that goes and continues from above the windows to the back and continues across. Now what also I like about this, look at this trunk itself. Now it has this black piece, the chrome piece, the trunklet spoiler. It looks very, very interesting. And then we can open this up to see how much room we have inside. So decent amount of space on the insides. This is a mid-size sedan, and that's probably as large as they get. Now what else we have here? We have this cargo net over here. You can release the seats and fold them down if you'd like to. Now do they fold down or just release? So they release, so you actually have to get inside of it and fold them down. They're 60-40 split. We'll check that up on the inside. You do have a spare tire, temporary use spare tire, and the tools to remove it. So it feels pretty spacious in the back seat. I do have quite a bit of room in front of my knees. I'm 6 feet tall. I do have probably about 2, maybe 3 inches above my head, and quite a bit of shoulder room. So decent interior. It's missing one thing, and I can't find it. Let me show it to you. Starting with this door panel, nothing too crazy or unusual about it. You do have your window controls and the regular door handle. You have this 3D looking trim in the back, which kind of separates the black from the black with this gray color. And then you have a speaker cover and some more storage right underneath here. You can put a water bottle maybe. Now, what else do we have here? Look at the seating area over here. Looks like leather, but in actuality, it is a Syntex seating material, which is a man-made leather, and that's combined with the cloth on the insert, so it looks very sporty. It's very cool. 2 people can sit comfortably. Third one, well, if you had to, but normally this would be my setup, right? Have the cup holders, have an armrest, because not only the seat, but also you have this bump right in the middle. But I told you I was missing something, and I still don't see any vents in the back. Now, I think it's a big enough sedan that it should have its own vents in the back. You do have some connectivity, however. You do have the USB ports, 2 of them, the regular USB Type A, not Type C, and you have the seat back pocket. Let's check out the quality of this vehicle, but listening to how it sounds when you shut the door. Boom! It's pretty cool. That noise is because the vehicle is running and I do have the key that's outside of it. So it's just warning me, hey, you left the vehicle running and you left with the key in your pocket. Now, as far as the front door panel, just a slight difference. In addition to this 3D trim, it does have this polished aluminum trim right underneath here, and that connects to the trim in front. So we're going to take a look at this later. Other than that, the pre-standard setup, windows, mirror lock controls, a little bit more storage underneath here, padded armrest slash door handle. You do have a K5 right on the door sill, and driver seat is power adjustment. Now on the passenger seat you do have a manual adjustment. The seats itself, they're profile, but I wouldn't say they're aggressive or they're too sporty. Same kind of combination with the syntax and the cloth material, and you do have the GT line kind of embossed inside of these seats. Now we'll jump in here and see what else we have. Well, let's take a look at the interior of this 2023 Kia K5. I gotta tell you, it hasn't changed from 2022. It is very nice. Starting off with this dashboard right there, you can see it's like a double tier dashboard. Top of it is covered in this soft vinyl material. There's a little bit of piano black right in the middle. Vents nicely incorporated into the design of this vehicle. I like this trim. Let me give you a close-up of it. Looks like a 3D looking trim. Very nice, very unique. And then you have more of this polished aluminum trim that kind of continues to the door panels over there. Now the bottom of it, regular plastic with the glove box right there at the bottom. Again, nicely incorporated vents right underneath this big 10.25 inch screen, but we're gonna get to it in just a little bit. Let's start with the steering wheel though. It does have a sporty steering wheel. It is a sporty design on the vehicle, so it does have the GT line steering wheel, and that GT line is indicated right at the bottom of it in this aluminum trim. I like how Kia did the buttons. Now a lot of manufacturers are going with this piano black buttons. They're shiny, they have a lot of fingerprints that are left on them. This is my favorite design. Now it has a bunch of buttons on both sides. On the left hand side right here you have a button that says mode. That's customizable. You can actually customize this button to do several different functions, and you set it up in your infotainment system. You have your voice control button, volume and mute button, you have your hang up button, and you do have your pickup button on the phone. Now this, you can select different sources for your media, and on this side you have the pages button that basically controls what's going on in the middle screen. Over in the instrument cluster you have a cruise control button, then you have a pause, replay, plus and minus as far as the tracks on the media, and then you have buttons for the adaptive cruise control and the lane keep assist. So Kia logo, the new Kia logo is right here, and let's take a look at the instrument cluster. Now, looking at the instrument cluster, this is more of a traditional style instrument cluster. So you have analog display on the left and the right. The left hand side you have the tachometer, right hand side you have a speedometer, and then you have the gauges right inside of them. On the left hand side you have a temperature, right hand side you have a fuel gauge. Now this only screen over here that's customizable is this little screen right in the middle. Let's go over through some features of it. So it says fuel economy right now. You can change it into the navigation, then you can change it into your lane keep assist, and then we're going back to the info, and you can set this up as your middle screen, which means you're gonna have a readout of your speed right in the middle there. So let's see what else we have. We go back to the fuel economy, but within that you can go up and down and have different drive modes, accumulated info, etc. And moving on, let's see, this is just the regular navigation, turn-by-turn direction. Well, this one has also an attention level and the lane keep assist. And that's all the customization that you have in the instrument cluster. So not a whole lot, but just enough to get you busy, right? Now, as far as the screen right here, 10.25 inch screen, we've seen it on some of the other Hyundais and Kias. Looks like that's the magic number that they're updating all the 2023 models. Now they also have the smaller screen, the 8-inch screen, which has one advantage over this one. It actually does have the wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Now this particular one, it does have Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, but they are wired. Take a look at the menu. I've seen this menu before. Map, navigation, phone projection. If you click that, it's going to say, hey, connect your phone via an approved USB cable, right? So voice memo, this allows you to record a short voice memo and then retrieve it later. So if you're driving, somebody calls you, you don't want to look for a pen to write down the phone number or something, you can just record the memo and retrieve it later. Valet mode, HD radio, data, media, Kia Connect setup. That's where you can customize a lot of the features on the vehicle and the setup. So as you can see, you can have a vehicle, and then you have the driver assistance features, drive modes. Now you can do the drive mode change alert. You can also customize your custom drive. So powertrain, you have the choices of normal or sport for optimized driving. But if you want to have a sport powertrain and a normal steering wheel, you can do that, or vice versa. And then go back to see what else we have. Cluster, as far as the middle, you can see cluster theme selection and theme A, B, or C. Content selection, fuel economy reset. You can do it manually, you can do it after refueling. Welcome sound. So let's go back to the setup over here. A couple things you have is, one of them is the button. And now we have 3 buttons, actually 4 buttons, that you can customize. 3 of them are the mode button, custom button, and the up and down button on the steering wheel. So you can do the up and down buttons to change preset stations or change station frequency. Mode button, that's on the steering wheel. You can assign it to one of those features: Bluetooth audio, phone projection, sounds of nature, USB music, FM, AM, and Sirius XM. And the custom button right on the side of this navigation system, you can actually assign it to either phone projection, Kia Connect, display on and off, HD radio, data, or just leave it at none as it is right now. You can also move the volume knob or assign the different thing to the volume knob. So volume knob can be volume on power or browse media, map, zoom in and out, so depending on what you want, I guess. So Kia Connect, general settings, voice recognition, user profile, display, screen layout, all of those are available to you. Let's see what's in general settings. Is there any cool stuff in here? System info, date and time, language, keyboard, basically just the general settings. Okay, let's go back to the home screen, move over to notifications, user manual. That's going to display a QR code. Scanned with your phone is going to get you to the owner's manual of this vehicle. And let's see if we do have the sounds of nature. Sure enough, sounds of nature, lively forest. There's a few of them available: calm sea waves, rainy day, open air cafe. I want to set that up really quick, and let's hike the volume up. That's actually pretty cool, pretty nice. And then let's go back to the main screen, and that is it. Now on the side of here you have map, navi, custom button. On the other side you have the radio, media, seek, track, and setup. These are all shortcuts buttons that you can use if you want to get to a specific place faster. Down here is another screen that displays your climate control, and that is basically your temperature settings, your fan settings, etc. This is your main climate control. Right underneath here you have a little bit more storage. USB ports, 1, 2, and then the regular 12-volt power adapter type of charger setup. Now you do have your cup holders, and I like the shifter. At first I didn't care for it too much, but it's very comfortable. It's pretty cool looking, like more of a aggressive sport shifter. Now this has the ability to switch gears, like if you put it in drive and if you want to manually switch gears right to left, here you go. Now as soon as you have it, as long as we have it in reverse, then we can see the rear view camera. Now it's raining outside, okay, but you can see that the camera is not bad actually. I mean, it does have a pretty good quality to it. Now the screen is still split up, and I wish I could just eliminate that portion of it and actually have the rear view camera as a full screen. The only options that we have is the display contents, extended rear view monitor and display settings. Now let's go back in here, and that's the only options that we have, nothing else. Okay, put it back in park. Move on down here to see what else we have. Now we do have the auto hold feature for the brakes, so you push the brakes, press that auto hold feature, and the vehicle will not move until you press on the accelerator, even if the brake is not applied. Electronic parking brake in here, different drive modes right here. As far as the drive modes, because it is an all-wheel drive, it has an additional mode. So it has a smart, normal, sport, custom, and now it does have a snow mode as well. That's only available on the all-wheel drive models. Now you do have the heated steering wheel. I mean, the heated steering wheel is right here, and then you have the heated seats, 3-stage heated seats, both driver and passenger. Now you have a wireless charger that is right here. That was pretty cool. You can stick your phone right inside of here, and it even fits the larger phones. So I have the S22 Ultra, which is one of the larger phones, and it fits in here no problem. Okay, so that's for the wireless charging, and then we have a little bit more storage right over here. So let's move on to the top console over here. Then you have the regular light controls over here. You have the emergency button information, and then you have the UVO. This is basically a subscription-based Kia service. You do have the illuminated mirrors. The illumination is up on top, and this one doesn't have a sunroof, so this is it. Now let's take this for a spin. Well, it's still raining, but it's not raining that bad. We're going to take it for a spin. Actually, I'm kind of glad that it does, because we do have this all-wheel drive model, so I want to see how this vehicle behaves on wet surfaces, and that's at least here in Florida, that would be the biggest difference, you know, whether somebody would want to get this versus the front-wheel drive. Of course, we don't have snow here. Now, before we do that, let's take a look at the different models that are available. So first of all, Kia dropped the LX model out of their lineup completely. Well, they probably looked at the data. They said, hey, you know, the LXSs and the above are selling a lot better, so they eliminated the LX model. That was the cheapest and the least expensive model before. Now, the LXS starts at $25,990. The GT line, which is the next one up with the front wheel drive, starts at $26,490. The GT line all-wheel drive, which is the one I'm sitting in right now, $28,190, and $28,990 for the EX. Now EX is this more smooth, more luxurious one. The GT line is, of course, a little bit more sporty one. Now, if you wanted the sportiest version of it, it's GT. Now, don't confuse it with the GT line, although it will look very similar on the exterior and interior, but it's going to be powered by this beast of an engine. It's got 290 horsepower, 2.5 liter turbocharged engine, so it's insane. It's also got the 8-speed dual clutch wet transmission versus what we have. And here's this 1.6 liter engine. That's what we're going to test out today. It does have an 8-speed transmission, and this one produces 180 horsepower. So quite a bit of difference between the GT line and the GT. Well, let's take this one for a spin really quick. Let's check out the turning radius first of all, and let's see how tight this vehicle is. Just to get the wipers on, what I'm gonna do is stop right here, turn the steering wheel all the way to the left, and count the parking spots. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4.5. Wow, this was tight. I didn't think we were quite gonna make it, so that's why I was slow down talking, but we did. We made it. It's like 4 spots and maybe just 1/5 of it, if that. Feels good. You know what, I'm here on this wet surface right here. I want to see how the traction works on this vehicle, especially with this all-wheel drive. Wet surface, start, let's go. Okay, I mean, there's no slippage or anything like this. Now we do have the traction control that was on. We have all the other stuff, so no issues there. I'm gonna put it in the sport mode, see if it changes anything. Should give you a little bit better performance out of the engine, better responsiveness. But then again, this is all virtual basically, so there's no mechanical changes that are going on once I switch that button. All right. It sounds a little bit better. The steering wheel is definitely tighter in the sport mode than in the eco mode when I was at before. It holds on to the ground really nicely. I like the all-wheel drive. Maybe it's just a illusion that I have in my head that, hey, this is not a front-wheel drive. Now, it's raining pretty bad. I hope you can hear me through all this rain coming into the cabin, all this noise. But I have to tell you, this vehicle handles really, really well in the wet, on the wet pavement. There's no question about it. I hope to get a little bit more of a performance test right here. All-wheel drive, turn it around pretty quickly, you know, very nice, very smooth, nice acceleration, no body roll. Very positive impression of driving this vehicle. So, you know, while a lot of people are switching to the SUVs because of an all-wheel drive, of course, there's other advantages of it. There's, you sit up a little bit higher, you usually have more space in the vehicle. This sedan really should not be forgotten. I think Kia's done a phenomenal job by, you know, redesigning it back in 2000, I believe it was 20, when the Kia Optima was discontinued, and this what replaced it. And very positive vibe, very nice vehicle. Of course, another thing that's super important, and I stress it in every Kia and Hyundai video, is the warranty. Kia and Hyundai grew quite a bit over the last few years, and there's going to be some growing pains. And I believe that they're doing the right thing by providing the industry's best warranty coverage to, you know, make you believe in them and buy their vehicles. And I know there's some naysayers gonna go like, yeah, but you know, Toyota and Honda, they're more reliable. You know, J.D. Power and Associate might actually not agree with that, because Kia came ahead in both the short-term and the long-term studies, as far as the initial quality study and the 3-year dependability rating. So there you go. If you had any doubts about this vehicle, don't go to a Kia dealership, test drive one. If you're anywhere near Bradenton, Florida, Gettel Kia of Bradenton, great group of guys. They're gonna help you out and hopefully put you in your new vehicle. Guys, thank you very much for watching. If you like watching videos like this, consider subscribing to my channel. I post twice a week, and there is a different vehicle basically every week. So if you like watching videos like this, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification, and I'll see you in my next video. Cheers.